Welcome to the AEW Collision morning after post show. It's your boy ABE from DET.
I'm that bald bro from the NYC.
We here morning after, so much wrestling going on, so much MMA going on. Last night we couldn't get the post show done, but here we are like always morning after. Collision was solid, man. It didn't fall wayside to everything going on last night.
No, it was a pretty good episode of Collision. I mean, this is what I expect from Collision. I mean, yeah, you get a little story here and there, but it's the in-ring action that carries the show from start to finish. And last night was another example of that.
Definitely starts off with the TNT champion himself, Kyle Fletcher, who defeated Tomohiro, who always, man, he just falls in ways on his neck where I think a normal man would be paralyzed, but he gets up like it's nothing, man. He got like a tree trunk of a neck. But excuse me. Fletcher gets the win. Your thoughts on this one?
Hold up, Abe. I'm sorry, brother, but with all due respect, that's last week's episode.
Oh, damn, I'm looking at the wrong notes. One second, then. I'm pulling it up right now. Coughing my brains out. Like I said, man, yesterday was a crazy day in pro wrestling, man.
Man. When you go live, man, so things like this happen,
Things like this happens. You pull up the notes from the week before, it happens, man. Where are we at with you? But even that collision that I was just talking about was a damn good one. So it's not even like I was lying. They just been on a roll lately. It's just what they do now. Here we are. If you know offhand what the first match was, feel free to take it over for me, Barbara. And by offhand, I cannot remember right now, but I'm pulling it up.
All right, well, you're pulling it up. We actually started off with a promo from the timeless one, Toni Storm. What a way to kick off Collision as she is getting ready for her women's world title match against Athena at Forbidden Door. And to start off, she starts off with a prayer for her opponent, Athena. She is down on her knees with the spotlight on her with the old grade school prayer, milk, lemonade, around the corner, fudge is made. And that's a Toni Storm promo if I haven't heard one before. And she basically says how the match is going to go. It's going to end with a print on her face of her ass and her going on a cheap budget flight back to America without her women's world title. But Athena and Billy Starks would get the advantage on the timeless one, taking around, layering out in the ring. When out of nowhere, Mina Shirakawa would return to our grace us with our television return as she herself has a match with Athena at Death Before Dishonor for the ROH Women's World Title. They fend off, they chase away Athena and Billy Starks, and the promo and the segment ends with a beautiful makeout session between Toni and Mina as love is in the air. The colliders were, well, colliding in a sense. But what a way to end, what a way to start Collision. Your thoughts on the opening segment?
Yeah, women controlling professional wrestling, stories being told. It's not just like you throwing a bunch of pieces together. Everything fits, man. Everybody's got their place here in the story. I love it. And there's something about Billy I really like, man. At first I didn't, but she is becoming like a little lovable character that one day I can see a lot of people rooting for. Is it just me, or do you see that bubbling in her?
Oh, absolutely, man. You know what? She gives me NXT Black and Gold Bailey vibes in a sense. You go back to when she started, the Four Horsewomen, back in the early NXT days. She gives me Bailey vibes. So, I mean, listen, she's under the tutelage of Athena, so I expect big things from her in the future. And we got to remember, she's only 20 years old, and she's already this good right here. But just before we move on, like Mina, she cut a vignette the other day about her match with Athena at Death Before Dishonor, and apparently this is going to be Athena's 69th match for Ring of Honor, and Mina said, "You've won 68, but I won't be 69." I'm like, oh god damn.
They love to push the envelope with this.
They don't pushing the damn envelope. They shoving that shit down the goddamn stairs like if it's damn Looney Tunes. But I mean, yeah, they love to push the envelope. But what a way to start, man.
Yeah, man. You keep it going if you got them up there. The results there.
I mean, I got the results right in my brain.
Go ahead, brother. You run it. You control it. I have no idea what I did with my notes last night.
All good, brother. So, very first match, we have our bald goat Ricochet versus the debuting, the very brand new elite signing of AEW. That is the Ace himself, Ace Austin, debut match on Collision. Very, very great signing for AEW, by the way. If you haven't seen this young man perform in the past decade, you are in for a treat. And what a match it was. I mean, you couldn't have picked a better opponent for Ricochet. I think they both did phenomenal work. They have great chemistry. Ace just showing why he's going to fit perfectly in this all elite roster. You know, he had a chance. You know, he had some great offense in. It looked like things were going his way until the gates of agony. Ricochet's muscle come down to the ring to kind of put the put the odds in Ricochet's favor. You know, Ace tried his best, but Ricochet, like I said, with the help of the gates, would pick up the victory 1, 2, 3. Even in defeat, it was a great showing from Ace Austin. And, you know, I look forward to see what they have in line from him in TNT, TBS, whether it's Dynamite, Collision. Like I said, amazing addition to the AEW roster. Your thoughts on not just the match, but Ace Austin joining All Elite Wrestling?
Yeah, Ace, I've been watching him for a few months now. I'm not the biggest indie fan, but when a guy can hit my radar, that means you're doing something right, man. So Ace, I've been up on him. He's not some rookie like some people want to say. He's been out here in the game for a minute. So this signing, I think, was dope. It's a good slip under the cracks. WWE's trying to swipe up everything, but they let one get by. AEW's got a star on his hands, but you know he was not about to beat the light-skinned Kingpin and GOA. They're just dominant right now on just massive role. But yeah, this was great.
I mean, great match, man. Like you said, a great addition to the All Elite roster. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, man. One also thing I could say is Ricochet and GOA, they're starting to just gel perfectly. And I'm looking at the landscape and everything that's going on. I could definitely see somehow GOA getting their hands on those Ring of Honor tag team titles. And I also can see Ricochet possibly taking that Ring of Honor heavyweight title, and they could possibly run Ring of Honor and Collision. You've been seeing the last few weeks, they haven't had Ricochet on Dynamite. He's been in that Collision role lately, and usually Collision is tied with Ring of Honor. So them being champs over there, it could fit perfectly if that's where they're headed.
Definitely, man. So, all right, off to the next match. We got tag team action. We got the Death Riders, Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta versus Jet Speed, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. And listen, man, these are just Speedball and Kevin Knight. It is amazing to see how well of a tag team they have meshed together so quickly in a short amount of time, only a few months, and they brought it to Mox in his hometown, and along with Wheeler Yuta, they were this close to pulling off the upset, but Marina Shafir playing distractions on the outside, distracting the referee, looked like they had the victory, they had it right there. Kevin Knight hit the UFO splash from the top rope, but the distraction gave Wheeler Yuta enough time to kick out. More distraction attempts on the outside by Marina. Wheeler hit that goddamn Wheeler Yuta hits a low blow on Kevin Knight, rolls him up for the 1-2-3 victory as they build up momentum to Forbidden Door next week in that 5-on-5 lights out steel cage match. Whatever the hell that match is going to look like, it's going to be insane. Your thoughts on the tag team match? Awesome showing once again from Speedball and Kevin Knight.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not one of those professional wrestling analysts who can't admit when they're wrong. I remember seeing Kevin Knight, Speedball get together, and I was like, oh, they're so great separately. This is stupid. But they have gelled to be an incredible tag team here in AEW. Everything is in sync. Now, the moves now are in sync. I'm looking at them as one instead of two different characters. Their ring gear. They're even, look at some of the coldest tag team ring gear in AEW. Their whole package is great. Wherever they're headed, sign me up. But this is Jon Moxley doing Jon Moxley things. You know, Death Riders was not going to lose. But Wheeler Yuta, another character, man. It's so much hidden potential here in AEW. I know it's like a broken record. I keep saying it, but it just truly is. And you're not mad about it because it's no room for them to shine. Like, whereas in other promotions, it's like no top guys. So it's like, please push people. But here in AEW, it's like, man, I want Speedball and them to get a chance. But, man, it's a couple of more guys even better ahead of them. So that's why competition is great. AEW has some of the best of it. Great tag team match, man. No complaints here at all.
I mean, like you said, the cream rises to the top, and like right now at the top, like that's one thing that AEW has figured out right now. It's their main event scene is stacked from top to bottom. Their mid card division is getting stronger with every week, especially with Kyle Fletcher as the TNT champion right now. I think he's going to take that. He's going to elevate that belt to new heights. I mean, that we haven't seen in a long time. So yeah, I mean, like you said, we would love to see Speedball and Kevin Knight like push like to the tippy top right now, but it's going to take some time. And
Yeah,
it's not.
take some time.
It's no fault of their own. Trust me, they are
None.
ready right now.
None.
It's just there's just so many guys in front of them right now, you know. But when their time does, when
so
they do,
many.
when
FTR,
Mhm.
Brodito, just so many.
Exactly. When their names get called and when their time has come, I think they're gonna take the opportunity to run with the ball. And speaking of tag team action, let's keep the theme going with tonight as we get Paragon, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. But before the match starts, we get a backstage segment where Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, like Kyle is trying to get Roderick Strong into the conglomeration. He's trying to get him into that group. But Roderick, he's opposed to it. He's a little apprehensive right now because guess what? Roderick's his thought process right now is on Kyle Fletcher. He wants to get revenge on for his buddy Adam Cole because he blames Kyle Fletcher for taking him out, for almost forcing an early retirement. So down the line, we could potentially have a TNT program between Kyle Fletcher and Roderick Strong. Sign me up whenever we get that. But now to the match itself. More Blake Christian on my TV screen is always a good thing. Vanilla Baby, it just gets better every week in and week out. Him and Lee Johnson are just another tag team that, like I said, there's so many teams in front of them, but when they get their opportunity, they show out, they show up, and they always deliver, in my opinion. But listen, Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, they're just too much of a well-oiled machine. They've been doing this for a decade plus. So, I mean, like I said, Blake Christian looked great in this match, but eats a devastating knee from Roderick Strong. Then it gets hit with the high-low from O'Reilly and Strong for the win. 1, 2, 3, Paragon with the victory. But you see the conglomeration coming in, trying to embrace O'Reilly and Strong, but Strong wants none of that. His sights are on TNT Gold. His sights are on Kyle Fletcher right now. Your thoughts on Paragon picking up the victory?
Yeah, Paragon, dope, man. I thought it was much needed. Blake Christian, I remember, I will always give you credit. You the one that told me about him. You know, you put me up on him. I thought he was a joke. The more I watch him wrestling, the more I get more and more respect for him. And Lee Johnson is just Lee Johnson. I've been a fan of him. But the veterans was much needed for them to get the win. I never in a million years thought I'd live to see a company where Roderick Strong, his wife, Marina Shafir, is more over than him, but it is a fact, you know. Hey, it just is, you know. I was talking to my daughter. She was like, that's Marina Shafir. I was like, yeah, that's her husband. She's like, who's that guy? I was like, oh my God, that's Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
Forgive her, she's young. But that just shows
Kids.
you the impact that she's having right now on the current culture who's just now picking up professional wrestling. So shout out Marina Shafir and Roderick Strong. Great couple. But yeah, veterans get the job done. Great match.
Absolutely, man. And moving on forward, we have a $100,000 four-way match between Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, Penelope Ford, and Anna Jay. Once again, the woman showing up and showing out. Listen, we've said many times before, whether it's the four-ways, the multi-woman tag matches, whatever, they just always put the right pieces together. They gel together so well. They mesh together. The cooperation and just everything between them, they knock it out of the park. They take the ball and they run with it. I mean, Statlander is just a beast among beasts out there. I mean, she's just throwing everyone around, ragdolling everyone. And listen, like I said, she's a powerhouse. It's just not fair now. Now she's submitting people out there. Like now she has submission game to her game. She might be the best overall, all well-rounded wrestler on the entire roster right now. I mean, like I said, everyone did their part, but Statlander did pick up the victory and the $100,000 for the win. But afterwards, you get the other members of the Triangle of Madness. You get Tekla and Sky Blue out there, and then we get the Queen out there trying to even up the odds, along with Ty Mello. But out comes the Megasis as the numbers game were taken over. Who would come back? It is Harley Cameron, the masked wonder herself, coming out with a damn look like a steel pipe, or chasing off the bad guys or gals in this instance. And I tell you, we're getting week in and week out closer to, I think, the first ever women's blood and guts match. It is right there. All the pieces are right there. They are ready to go. I mean, it's right there. Give the women the ball and they will run with it. They will score the touchdown. 2025 is the year of women's wrestling carrying the business, regardless of what your favorite brand is. Your thoughts on the match and all the post-match shenanigans?
Yeah, Chris Statlander was definitely the person who should have won. I like that even though she is in a title chase right now, so to say, or even have a title, Chris Statlander is always booked strong. You know what I mean? They know how to handle their OG talent, their the pieces that they've been grooming for a long time. So her win was much needed. 100K is 100K. I don't know if it's fake or real, but she gets the job done. And if you give me Harley Cameron on my screen, entertaining me more and more, I'm all for it, man. Like you say, it's just so many layers. I don't know if I am a broken record and I don't care. You know what I mean? It's just so many layers to this, man. Harley Cameron, all that storytelling you could be doing. The triangle of madness is just incredible, man. Women's wrestling on fire.
It's just so many like storylines and angles like intertwined within like those dozen women in that one segment match right there that they could break off and split into whatever they want, but they're all in one big major angle right now. Like I said, the end goal has to be the very first
Sign me up.
blood and guts match. They are ready for the spotlight.
I agree.
So after the match, after commercial, we go to a backstage segment in which Renee is interviewing Statlander on congratulating her on winning the 100K match. Harley Cameron come out celebrating, jumping in Statlander's arms. When she would turn around, who was right there? John Moxley and the Death Riders right there playing more mind games with Stat. They're trying to lure her into the dark side, lure her over to the Death Riders stable, because right now they do need help. And I don't know if it's help or trying to influence her, try to go down the wrong way with her and Willow's on again, off again friendship. You know, will it succeed? We don't know. It's just another layer of storytelling where you're kind of seeing, you know, the battle from within Statlander's head. Like, she doesn't know which way to go. In the beginning, she wanted nothing to do, but I think week in and week out, she's starting to consider her options. Like, you know, maybe might want to lean this way. Maybe they do have a point, but we shall see. Your thoughts on this segment?
Yeah, dope. Incredible. It's just like I say, so many stories to the so many layers to the story, but it's just dope, man. I don't even know if I am a broken record tonight, but it's just incredible segment. Not much to say about it, man.
All right, listen, before we move on, I have to, you know, this is outside of Collision. We have to give a major congratulations to Konosuke Takeshita, who, while in Japan the past month, last night against Evil in the finals, has won the G1 Climax tournament. He is the winner. This is such an incredible story. If you know the story of Takeshita as a kid, this young man used to write essays with the help of his mother to New Japan Pro Wrestling in his dream to become a professional wrestler. And now you fast forward to where he is right now. He wins the very tournament that he has been watching, like dreaming of a kid being in. He is now the G1 Climax winner. And this already has me thinking of when he returns to the States, that Don Callis promo segment when Takeshita comes back is going to be godly. And listen, if you give me the damn pen, and I will produce a segment right now. Callis will be cutting his promo with Takeshita on his side right there, the other Don Callis family members, and Callis is going to go off. He's going to say, better than Ricky Dozan, better than Inoki, better than Ibushi, better than Omega. But you know what? I want Takeshita to grab the mic from Don Callis, look right in the camera and say, better than Okada. And boom, right there. They have been teasing this in the past, the dissension, just the utter disdain that they have for each other. I mean, you talk about passing of the torch moments in professional wrestling history. Takeshita, the young boy coming up versus Okada. I mean, maybe one of the greatest wrestler in Japanese professional wrestling history. It's right there. The story writes itself. When do we get the feud? Oh, I don't know. At the end of the year, there's another tournament coming up called the Continental Classic. That's your final right there. Takeshita versus Okada in the final, World's End. And guess what? Takeshita goes over in the same year. He'll win the G1 Climax tournament, the Continental Classic right there. And you can make an argument that he could be the wrestler of the year in 2025. Book it.
I'm all for it.
Right there. Let's go, Tony.
Round of applause, Bald Bro. Great booking.
Absolutely.
Great booking.
Give me the goddamn pen, man. I'll lead you to the promised land. All right, back to Collision, man. We're back in the ring. We have Juice Robinson versus Brian Keith, and thank the Lord that I think when Juice shaved his beard, I think his body, his face just said, "No, that doesn't work for me, brother." And his beard looks like it's about 75% back. Thank God, man. Like he just looked. He didn't look right without the beard, man. It's just not a good look, but a good match all around. Very physical. Listen, Brian Keith, more singles action for him, I think is very good. Like, Juice and the Bang Bang Gang right now, they're down a couple members right now, so they're trying the best in singles and tags right now. A good struggle between both, but Juice would pick up the win at the end, picking up the victory. You had on the outside, you had Big Bill and Austin Gunn going at it, playing little distractions out there, but it wouldn't deter from Juice Robinson picking up the victory in this match. Good match all around. Your thoughts on Juice picking up the victory?
Now I'm all for Juice. Juice done proved himself. He's a made man. He deserved to win. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. But in professional wrestling, a lot of times getting your character down is the hardest thing. Guys come in doing 450 splashes, all the moves in the world, but they can't talk. Brian Keith, on the other hand, he's got the character down pat. So if he can put on banger after banger, no pun intended to Sheamus, but if he can keep putting on good matches by himself, along with that great character, sky's the limit for Brian Keith as well. But I completely enjoyed this match and all the pieces, the guns, Big Bill, everybody involved, man. Great match.
Great match. And now we move on to the main event. We have a 4-way technical spectacular match between Nigel McGuinness, Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, and Hichisaro, with the winner to go on to face Zack Sabre Jr. for the New Japan World Heavyweight title in London in the O2. And let's be honest, the winner should come as no surprise to anyone. Nigel picking up the victory. And like Abe just said, about moves like 450 splashes, tope suicidas, like complex moves and counts. This was technical wrestling at its finest. Like, they may have set a goddamn record for most submission attempts in a professional wrestling match. This is basic wrestling 101, from the holds, from the transitions to the submissions to the counters. Like 15 minutes of just beautiful mat grappling wrestling at its finest. And even, shout out to Nigel. I mean, when you consider like him being retired for so many years, because of injury, and coming back last year at All In, and now, little action here and there the past year, and now, I mean, he showed out against these other three great technical wrestlers in Hichisaro, Garcia, and Moriarty. And my God, the scene with him and Zack Sabre Jr. in London in the O2 is going to be simply amazing. It is one of the very few dream matches that we can get in today's professional wrestling. I mean, today's square circle. It's going to be brilliant. But after the match, Nigel talked to Garcia, and he wants Daniel Garcia to be in his corner for the match at Forbidden Door. And Garcia agreed, but I see you shaking your head no. We've seen our fair share of professional wrestling over the years. I think we know what's coming. Well, I know what should come. I think Garcia, I think he's tired of playing little brother. I think it's time for him to step out of not just Nigel's shadow, but anyone's shadow. That's all good and all, but listen, you know what I love in wrestling? I love heat. I love someone there who just create massive levels of heat. I don't want that Garcia interaction. You know what I want? If Zack Sabre Jr. wins this match, we just talked about Takeshita earlier, winning that G1 tournament, he guarantees him a shot at the New Japan title in the future. I want him to take out Zack Sabre Jr. at the end of that match in front of his home crowd, in front of his home people in London in the O2, and get massive levels of heat and disdain going forward. That would be beautiful right there. We need real heat work. We need real heels in today's world of professional wrestling. That's how you get it. That's what I want to see. But before that, your thoughts on this 4-way submission match with Nigel being the winner?
Yeah, this is great. Like you said, technical wrestling. If you're looking for 450s and all type of spot monkey action, it's not happening in this one. This was a great professional wrestling match. Everybody held their own. But like you said, we've been watching professional wrestling way too long, and the seed was planted. You could see it in Daniel Garcia's eyes, but it's needed. It's very much needed since he lost the title to Adam Cole. It hasn't been clicking for me. And I believe in Daniel Garcia. I love OG AEW talent. So I want the best for him in this, some type of turn, or like you said, major heat. It would be great, but we'll see.
I mean, we kind of talked about the same thing with Hook this past Wednesday,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
with him coming back, like, listen, he could get it done in the ring, he could get it done between the ropes, but he needs to take that next step in his progression as a professional wrestler, like as a personality, as a talker. Like, I mean, it's not just what goes on between the ropes and when the bell rings. We need more. We need to see more when that mic is in your hand, and that character and that personality is what's going to elevate you, not just in AEW, but in the world of professional wrestling, wherever he goes in the future. So I need to see the next step from Daniel Garcia. I mean, like you said, he's been there for a few years now. He does have the potential. I still believe in him, but I need to see more. And maybe that starts at Forbidden Door after the match, with Nigel. We shall see. But listen, I do hope for the best with Garcia, but yeah, he needs to take that next step.
Definitely, man. This was a great show, though, man.
Yeah, very, very good show. I think, like I said, this is what I expect from Collision. Great in-ring action, a little bit of story sprinkled here and there. And yeah, I think all things considered, if I had to give a rating 1 to 10, I'll give it an 8.9 for last night's episode.
Yeah, I'm up there too. I'm gonna say 8.8, one under you. But yeah, this was a solid show, B show. Not that saying it was a B show, but I'm just saying, that's what the rating was for me. Solid 8.8. Great AEW Collision. What's going on with group chat, bro?
What is going on with group chat? Well, later on we will be recording our new episode. We're on episode 58, Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, GW Podcast UK. We upload about 3 to 5 clips from every episode every week. And please keep follow us on Twitter, like I just said, for updates on where we will be for this upcoming week for Forbidden Door week. So I can tell you right now, myself, Andy, and Dan, we will be at the Eve Riot Girls wrestling event this upcoming Saturday. We have so far, I believe they have Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Queen Aminata, and Nyla Rose listed for the event right now. Yeah, so if you are going to be there, just hit us up where we got standing room tickets already. So we'll be there. And I think for night 1 of Rev Pro wrestling, I think Lucy and Wrestling Mark will be there as well. But like I said, follow us on Twitter for updates, and we will keep you updated for any meet and greets or any locations the day of where we will meet up for the event.
Definitely. And right after this, just stay tuned to Holy Shhh Podcast. We are going to do a triple Mania post show coming soon. We don't have a special guest tonight, but we got a special segment, so tune in to that. Holy Shhh Sports episode drops today. We got reaction from the UFC 319 and new champion Hamzat Chimaev. There's just so much going on. Just tune in every day, all day. Turn on notifications. But till then, next time we see each other, it's your boy ABE from DET.
And that Bald Bro from the NYC.
You guys have been tuning in to the AEW Collision post show with the